that.
Hey, Daddy, you might want to come see this.
That's why we don't get much water.
Our old spring here has been on the property and developed for probably 30 or 40 years, and lately it's been slowing way down. So after developing a new spring, we finally dug into the old one, and what we found tells the whole story.
We decided to dig into our old spring. It's been tapering off really badly, and we have noticed for many years that this whole area is just soaked all the time. That's where the spring is, right there. We're gonna keep digging, see if we can uncover this spring, and maybe all this extra water that we're seeing here in the ditch, we can capture all this water, and then we're gonna, who knows, maybe double our spring? Fingers crossed.
This is such a different animal than developing a new spring from scratch. So you're trying to uncover what someone else did. How did they do this? How would I have done it? Did they do it the same way or did they do it differently? The water is still flowing into the cistern, so we haven't disturbed it too much yet. We'll see. We may not want to drink it after we find out what's underneath.
You would wonder why we're still alive.
We'll see. So at this point, we know the water's still flowing, but we have no idea what we're actually dealing with down here. So we're just taking it slow, and we moved a ton of dirt and sand, working our way down, watching for where we're gonna hit water and where the water's actually coming from. Because the last thing you wanna do is rush into a spring that's been here for decades and accidentally cut it off.
I'm starting to see where water is coming out down over here, and then there's some water I think coming down around at the back too. And I just measured the water flow right now. I'm getting about 1 minute and 30 seconds for a gallon of water. So I'm really happy with that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my, it's full of roots. Look at that.
Hey, Daddy, you might want to come see this.
That's why we don't get much water.
I'm surprised we still were getting water.
I'm shocked we were getting any water.
Thieves, I tell you.
Absolute thieves.
We have this really thick layer of clay up here above. Then right about here, it turns to sand and then coarse gravel. And then under that is a very thin layer of clay. I was just digging down into this clay a little bit and I broke through. So I'm gonna pick it up right here so you can see. That's that layer of clay. That's all we have underneath this spring. And right underneath this layer of clay is just sand. That means we're gonna have to be really careful with this layer of clay, because if we punch through the layer of clay, we'll lose this spring.
Just to give you some context, that's how much water's coming off of this thing. And it's been coming steadily for a while now, so I don't think it's just draining. It's coming out of there fast and furiously. It surely seems like something that's going to be a valuable contribution to the overall water system. I'm so glad that we are refreshing this spring. It desperately needed it.
Yeah.
So when you don't have heavy equipment, sometimes you have to use unorthodox measures, and come along is a secret weapon for that sort of thing. Just stuck a 2x4 in the opening, both ends of the strap there, and then wrapped another time to take up some slack, and up to the come along, up to a tree. Okay, we're pulling the tank up the hill with the Ranger.
All right, we're dragging the old cistern out.
You know, spring development is one of those things where you can stumble through it and hope that you don't wreck what you've got, or you can go in with a plan. And honestly, the difference between those two is often just a matter of knowing what you're looking at before you start digging. If you want the full step-by-step guide, the collection systems, the cistern sizing, the pipe layouts, and all of it laid out so you can actually do this on your own property, just click on the link in the description or go to thereadylife.com/springwater and grab the Spring-Fed Water System Guide. It's everything we've learned about developing springs over the years, packaged up so you can skip the part where you spin your wheels and have nothing to show for it. Okay, so we have a problem.
We pulled our old tank out of this hole here. We've got a little bit of a spring right here. It's kind of flowing right there.
Doesn't look like much.
No,
but
it's just enough to be annoying.
it could pick up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will pick up in the spring.
And the biggest question is it impacting or going to impact our two main springs? As we're pondering these options, I really lean towards developing it because we've been praying for 1 gallon a minute. And it's like, how are we going to get that unless we go where the way opens? You know, when there's a possibility of water, explore it. If it seems like the best option is to plug it up at that point, then we can plug it up. But at least we'll get a better idea of how much water we're talking about and what the lay of the land is and everything. Okay, so we have 2 different kinds of 55-gallon drums that I pulled out of a storage shed. And I'm not sure which one is going to work better, but I think I'm going to cut into both of them and see which one looks like a better fit. Surprisingly, this one is thicker, but I guess that makes sense because there's no ribs molded into it. So I think we're going to go with this one. I like the thinner one because it'll be hopefully a little bit more flexible, I hope. Have a bulkhead. Now we've cut our bulkhead to length, took it down there to the spring. Now I'm going to drill the hole for the bulkhead. Okay, and here is the finished product. We ended up doing a long double here because we've got a deep area going into the cave there that needs to be drained.
Okay, so got our bulkhead in, got our pipes in, but I was noticing I was still getting flow of water. I drained all this water out and I kept getting more water. Well, I guess we can leave it overnight and then see what we've got in the morning.
I think that's what we got to do. But the other thing to remember is that every time we've run into a problem or a challenge, it's turned into a blessing.
That's true.
This is often the case with a spring. We've found you work on it and then you face a challenge and then you say, okay, let's wait till overnight and see what it looks like in the morning when it settles down. And that could just very well dry up, or it could pick up and keep flowing more and more. This is a very interesting situation. But when you're dealing with these thick layers of sand like this, there's only so much you can do. So we're leaving it overnight because with springs, that's often just what you got to do. And you make your best move and let things settle and see what you've got in the morning. Is it going to dry up? Will it keep flowing? Did we accidentally disturb the original spring, the one that's been feeding this homestead for decades? Who knows? We'll see. That's what's coming up in the next video. And if you want to follow along and do this on your own property, the Spring-Fed Water System Guide is the companion resource that goes with this whole series. It's at thereadylife.com/springwater, or you can click on the link down in the description and it'll walk you through all the details so you can have your own spring water. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button now so you don't miss part 4.